Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new. Today's video is just gonna be a get ready with me. I just really didn't know what I wanted to film today, and I just wanted to do my makeup. So I figured a good old-fashioned, just boring, plain get ready with me would probably be my favorite thing to film today. So hopefully you guys don't find it boring, even though it's nothing like with a twist or anything like that. But yeah, I like to have like pretty creative video ideas when I can, but you know, it's just kind of impossible for me to have 3 unique ideas a week. So sometimes I just have to resort to the basic stuff. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump into it. I will say that most of the products I'm going to be using today are a little bit newer to my collection, and I'm really just wanting to get a good opinion about them. But I did want to go with a primer that I've had for a while. This is the Huda Beauty Water Jelly Primer. I have not used this in several weeks, so I want to use it today. And I want to put my primer on first, even though I'm going to do the eyes first. I really like to put primer on first and just kind of let it sink into the skin while I put my eyeshadow on. This really does feel like water, but it just really hydrates the skin, and it also just helps your foundation go on top of your skin very nicely. And I've been having a lot of dryness lately, and also just a good bit of texture, so I feel like this primer will really help, and I might add a little bit more once we finish the eyeshadow. While we're sitting here, I'm just gonna put some chapstick on. This is just like some random chapstick from a boutique here. I needed some, like my lips were super chapped one day, and the store we were at was selling this, so yeah, that's where this is from. But my lips were chapped today too, so we're gonna add that. The reason I really wanted to film a get ready with me today is because I really want to use this Nomad Cartagena palette. This is such a pretty palette, and I feel like my channel has been very Nomad-esque lately, but I'm okay with it. I recently picked up 3 palettes from the brand, and this one is just calling my name today. So I put on a little bit of warm tone clothes so that we can just create a fun warm tone look. I have used this, but only once so far, so I'm really excited to dig into it because the day that I used it, I kept it pretty neutral and just used these 2 shades here, and then I think this shade, but very lightly, because I wore it to work. So I'm not going to work today. It's the weekend, so I just want to create something fun and bright and just super warm tone, which for some reason I've been really into lately. I'm gonna prime the eyelids with this Fenty Beauty Pro Filter eye primer. This is something that I'm testing out. It's in my Shop My Stash right now, so I thought I would just go ahead and use it as my eyeshadow primer. I think you guys are gonna be proud of me because I finally washed my dang makeup brushes. These things were a mess, and some of them are like stained now, so that's nice, but they're clean. So I'm very excited to dig into these and dirty them up again. So I want to start out with a very light shade, so I'm gonna go in with this one here. I'm gonna bring you guys in a little bit, but I want to put this kind of all over in the crease and also as the transition shade, especially when I'm going in for a colorful look. I just really want to have a shade to kind of set the tone for the whole look. I feel like I haven't had just like a chill get ready with me in a while, so let me know in the comments, like, how are you guys doing? What are you up to? Are you enjoying summer, or are you ready for fall like me? Because honestly, I don't really love the summer that much. I just don't really like the heat. It is so hot here and very humid as well, so it's just not my favorite. It's like we do everything we can to just stay inside most of the time, and I don't know, it's not my favorite. Okay, I actually do want to use a little bit of this pink toned one as well. I really like that both of these shades are in here because they can help you get pretty different looks if you just use one or the other. But I really liked the combination of these 2 the other day when I used them. So I'm kind of putting this on just the outer part of the crease and then just blending it in with the first shade. Nomad's matte shades are pretty powdery. They're gonna have a good bit of kick up in the pan. So I do suggest doing your eyes first when you use them. But honestly, with the color payoff that you get, I just don't really mind that. And personally for me, I'm not really that likely to hit pan in a ton of these shades just because they're so bold. And I typically hit pan in my more neutral shades. So I don't really mind that you might not be getting as much product really per pan. I think the pans are pretty big. Okay, I'm really happy with this. This is so pretty already. These shades are stunning. Ooh, I'm trying to decide, do I want to go into this shade or this one? Let's start with this one here. So I want to put this kind of where I just put the other shade, but keep it a little bit lower on the lid. I'm gonna go back in with the first shade that we used and just kind of blend on top of the shade we just put and bring it up to the transition. Nomad's shades just blend so seamlessly, I swear, they're amazing. Okay, with a little bit of a smaller brush, I was kind of swatching the shades. I want to start out with this one. And I'm gonna put this right on the outer edge of the lid. And then I want to go into this like almost red shade. I want to put this even closer to the corner here. I am bringing this shade kind of into the crease a little bit when I barely have anything on the brush. And then with the very first brush we used, I'm not adding anything else, but I'm just going to go over the whole look again. Now, I don't know how I'm going to decide which shimmer shades I'm going to use because they are all stunning. That one's so pretty. I also really love the layout of this palette, how you have like 6 different shimmer shades, but you have 3 and 3, and then the lightest shades, and then these are a little bit of like a mix, but you kind of have like your medium tone, and then your like brighter or bolder or even like smokier tones. I really like how this is laid out. I feel like it's very user-friendly, but I'm going to use a makeup wipe and just kind of clean up the edge over here and create a little bit of a sharper wing. Okay, I'm gonna use NYX glitter glue all over the lid. And I am going to put it on the outer part of the lid as well because I want to use as many shimmers as possible. I'm also going to bring it up slightly from my natural crease because I want to bring the shimmers up higher than my crease. I love this already. I don't know what shade to use on the lid. Oh my goodness. The shade that I want to use most is this one right here. So I think I'm going to start out with this one because then I can kind of figure out what else I want to do. And I'm just going to put this like in the center of the lid because I do think I want to use some other shades. That's such a pretty shade. Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay, I'm going to use this one on the inner portion. I don't really want to use like the bright yellow because it is like very, 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 very yellow. I don't know that I'm feeling that. They look kind of similar when I show them here, but this one's a little bit more like baby yellow. And this one is a little bit more gold. So I'm gonna use that one today. Wow, that's so pretty. These shadows are just something else, I'm telling you guys. Okay, I'm going back in with that first shimmer shade and just kind of blending that in with the gold. And then I wanna make sure that I'm bringing this up a little bit from the crease. Wow, this is gorgeous. I love their shimmer shades. I love their matte shades too. They just have really good formulas. I kind of wanna use this shade, but I don't know. I feel like this one goes better. Ooh, maybe that one. Okay, I'm gonna try this shade, which is this one right here on the outer portion, and let's see what we think about that. I love that. That's so pretty. I am so glad that I picked this one up. This palette was like a maybe I'll pick it up, maybe I won't. I love this. I'm so glad I got this. And I would have never picked this up really before like the last couple months, but I've been so into warm tones. The reason I say that is because I used to just really want to wear cool tones like all the time, but I am just blown away. Okay, I think I'm gonna put a little bit of this like orangey shimmer shade on the outer part as well, kind of like over the purple, and I'm dragging that all the way out, and I'll use the makeup wipe again. Also, when I use the makeup wipe, I'm not like harsh with it. Hopefully you guys can tell, like I don't use a ton of pressure, but I don't think it like tugs at my eyes or anything. That is so pretty. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure these are all kind of blended together. I feel like the camera does not do these shimmers justice. They're so pretty. I love this. Okay, I'm kind of thinking about putting this shade on the lower lash line, like one of these 2 purples. I feel like that could be really pretty. So let's finish up the rest of the face and then we'll kind of like come back to that. I've got so much glitter on my hands now. I don't mind it, but we might have a little bit of a glittery face today. So yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit more of the water jelly because it's been like 10-ish minutes doing the face makeup. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more so that my face is super hydrated. This stuff is so refreshing. Okay, I also want to use my Hollywood Flawless filter from Charlotte Tilbury. I feel like I just do not use this enough, and I paid a lot of money for it, so I need to use it more. So I'm just gonna kind of put this all over the face, and I'm putting it on right after that primer so that it can kind of blend in. Every now and then I will mix it in with the primer or with the foundation or whatever, but I'm doing it really quickly after the primer, so it still should be able to mix in really well. And I'm gonna end up like putting it all over the face because I put a lot on. I'm kind of feeling like the glowy makeup today. For foundation, I want to use the Light Illusion from Flower Beauty. This is like a old/new product. I used up about 3 bottles of this years ago, and then they came out with a lighter shade. Really, the shade that I used up 3 of was a little bit too dark for me, but it was the lightest one that they had. But now they've come out with a lighter one, which is L0 Shell, and this is a better shade match for me. So I finally picked it up, and yeah, I'm really glad to have it in my collection again. So it's like kind of new to me, but also it's like an old favorite. And then I'm just going to blend this in with my sponge. That kind of gave me like a light medium coverage, so I don't really want to add another layer of foundation because I just don't really want to like cake it on today. It's super hot outside and I need to go take some pictures after this of makeup outside, so I kind of want to leave it a little bit light. So I'm going to use this to add more coverage. Perry, lay down. This is the Catrice True Skin Concealer. I recently picked this up. This is a high coverage concealer. My dog is getting comfortable. Okay, this is a high coverage concealer, so this can kind of add a little bit more coverage where I want it, which is going to be all right here. My cheeks are just so red, especially that one. This one's not as bad, but it still has a little bit of redness. So I'm going to go in with all cream products and then all powder products for the cheeks, just because I feel like it. So for cream contour, I'm going to use this KVD Liquid Gel Contour. This one's in the shade Fair Cool 90. I think it's the lightest one that they have, but this is a very interesting formula and texture. It is very gel-like, which makes sense because it's in the name. I'm just going to start out with one side, and I feel like you can kind of put a lot of this on because it's a little bit more on the sheer side in my opinion. And I actually want to try out this brush. This is from Sigma. It's their Emphasize Contour Brush. And I just want to see if I like it because I picked it up from TJ Maxx. And I'm just not sure how I feel about it right now. I felt like when I tried it, it kind of seemed like it picked up my foundation. So I want to try it with this since it's more of a sheer product. And it really doesn't take that much blending. Okay, I actually really liked how that blended this product out. Also, this is a very cool tone contour, which I love because I feel like a lot of the times I kind of struggle finding one that's cool tone enough for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it on the other side. I don't know. I think it did a better job on this than the other bronzers I've tried it with, but I'm not really sold on it. It's also just like a really chunky brush. Like it's kind of a lot for just a brush, I feel like. I don't know. I don't really need my brushes to be this large because it just takes up so much space in my brush holder. So, I don't know. I really like how this product looks. It's just not so sure about this brush. My favorite brush I got off of Shop Miss A, but it's from the brand Kala, which is a lot of times at TJ Maxx. But it is the V Contouring 755. If you guys ever see this brush, I'm telling you, I really think that you'll like it. It does shed every now and then, I will say that. But I don't care. That doesn't really bother me. I don't really use this with my Fenty cream bronzer, like you have to stick the brush in because I don't like to see the little hairs in the product, but I use this all the time for this product as well as for my Oma contour stick. I'll just like draw that on the cheek, then use this, my Charlotte Tilbury contour wand, literally any cream contour or bronzer or whatever. Just love this brush. I think it's the best one that I've tried in a long time for cream bronzer. For blush and also highlight, I'm going to mix the two of these products together. This is the Flower Beauty Blush Balm in Nectar, and then the Burt Liquid Luminizer in Starlight. This one's a little bit more pink. I probably would do better with like a true like champagne-y kind of color, but I think the one I have from Rare Beauty anyways is also pink, and it's the only other like actual liquid highlight that I have, so we're just going to use this one. I'm going to be topping this with the powder product anyways, so I can bring in a little bit more warmth that way, but I just wanted to try this combo. Ooh, I really like that. Okay, let's try this on the cheeks. I'm just going to stamp this on my cheeks with my fingers because I was already using my finger to blend it on the back of my hand. I just really don't like applying makeup with my fingers, so I'm just going to use my sponge and pick it up off the back of my hand and apply it this way. I just much preferred that. Like that was just so much easier, and I feel like on this side it looks a little bit patchy, but I think that was just from using my hands to apply it. I just don't really like that on myself. I really wanted something very subtle for the liquid part. I just wanted something to put down. I really just wanted to play with makeup today, so that's why I'm using all cream and then all powder. So let's jump to the powder products. For bronzer, I want to use this one from Spectrum because I just want something a little bit more warm tone. And I'm going to use this Kiko brush with it. This is the number 8 brush, and I just really like this one when I want a little bit more of a diffused bronzer look because it's just such a fluffy brush and it's perfect for that. I have this one in the shade Rise, by the way. This is a really, really nice bronzer, and I love the packaging of it. For powder highlight, I want to use the Nomad one. This is the Stockholm one in Midnight Sun. I think it's the lightest of the ones that they have, and this is on retirement sale, so it's less than $5 right now. That's actually really pretty on top of the liquid combo we used. I'm really glad I picked this up because the reason I never picked it up before is I thought it might be a little bit too deep on my skin tone, but it's really not. And if you have deeper skin, they have a lot of really fun colors, like bright colors, that I think would be really cool, but I know that they wouldn't work for me as highlights. For blush, I'm sure you're not going to be surprised. This is the one from Kokie Cosmetics, and this is in the shade Delight. It's one of their soft gradient blushes. I mean, how could I not use this with this look? And again, because I want a really diffused look, I'm going to use a large fluffy blush brush. This is the blush brush from Real Techniques. And I'm just going to kind of pat this like in the middle of the product. I'm not going to be kind of targeting towards the top or the bottom of the gradient. And I'm going to start this towards the top of the cheekbone and then work my way towards the apple of the cheeks with it. I feel like it looks really light right here from the blush to my eyes, but I'm thinking once we do the lower lash line it will be better, and if not, then we will blend it. And I'm going to leave it like this for now. I really want to use this powder from Glowish. I feel like I have not used this in quite a while, and I think it's because the last time I used it, I went a little bit heavy-handed and it looked like scaly almost, like it kind of just emphasized a ton of my texture. So once again, the big fluffy brush, I'm going to use this. This was from Profusion, and it is their powder brush. I got this, it just like came with my order when I ordered some stuff from their Super Bloom collection. I don't know if I like purchased a certain amount so they put it in there or something, but I don't know, they came free with that purchase. So I'm just going to use this brush for this. This just adds like a really nice little bit of glow, nothing crazy with the powdery like fluffy brush, but I think that this really is a unique product to my collection. I'm going to use the Hard Candy Chilling Wonder Powder underneath the eyes. Okay, I'm dying to do the lower lash line, so I'm going to go ahead and jump back to that. I'm going to go in with the original light shade that we used. I'm going to pinch the brush because this is quite a large brush and run this along the lower lash line. But I am going to bring this down slightly lower than I typically do because I think I want to use one of those purple shimmer shades on the lower lash line. I honestly feel like you could leave the look here, but I'm just feeling like trying that out. And I'm going to also like bring this shade up a little bit into the upper lash line. Just make sure that we're blended out right here. I feel like that line's looking a little bit strange, so we're going to work on that. Okay, I'm trying to decide which purple shade we go with. Like, do I go super bright or a little bit more safe? I don't know. Maybe I'll do like the brighter one on the outer portion and see what I think about it, and then I can decide which one I want to put on the inner portion. So I'm going to pick up the brighter, bolder purple with kind of a flat brush. I'm going to spray it with my setting spray, and I'm just going to try and stamp this on the lower lash line. I'm going to drag this shade out up towards the like edge of the look a little bit to kind of help blend it. I do think I'll use the lighter purple on the inner, kind of like inner third of the lower lash line. I actually think I'll use this kind of like bright baby yellow on the inner corner and see how that looks. I probably should have wet my brush with that shade. It did have a little bit of fallout, so I'm just going to dust my powder brush underneath the eyes. And that pretty much took care of that. Okay, I feel like once I put mascara on, this is gonna be a really good look. I'm gonna go ahead and put my mascara on and also do my brows. I'm gonna use the typical brow combo that I always use, the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen in Ash Brown and my Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. And I'm also going to really pile up the Ilia Fullest Volumizing Mascara in black, and I'll be right back. For lips, I'm thinking about using this combo. The Kokie lip liner in Warm Nude, and then the e.l.f. Seriously Satin Lipstick in Nectar. Okay, this is a little bit more orangey than I remember it being. Maybe a little bit more orangey than I wanted it to be. What do we think? What are we thinking? I don't know. Also, I meant to use setting spray before I put mascara on, and of course, as usual, I didn't remember setting spray until I was putting my mascara on. And I've been having really bad luck with my mascara transferring lately, so we're just not gonna use setting spray. You know what? I feel like I just need more bronzer. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I feel like I look very orange, and I just need a little bit more warmth on the skin. I'm just gonna like take off the middle of the lipstick, I think, a little bit, and try and kind of leave some of it on. So instead of adding another lipstick, I just kind of blotted that off and blended it in. And then I'm going to use my NYX lip gloss. This is the Butter Gloss in Madeline, and just use this over top of it. So I would say I didn't fully take off either one of those lip products. I took off more of the lipstick than the lip liner, of course, but it's just like a little bit of a warm lip, but not overwhelmingly orange, you know? I love how this look turned out. Let me show you guys the eye look. I mean, is this not beautiful? I feel like their shimmers just, you can't go wrong. I really like this. So I think my favorite thing about Nomad is that their shimmers and their mattes go so well together, even though their color story has a lot of different shades in it. Everything just blends together seamlessly, and I absolutely love using a ton of shimmer shades from their palettes to create a look and have like multiple shimmer shades on the lid and even one on the lower lash line. That's one of my favorite things to do with the Iceland palette as well. So I just really like the way that their palettes perform, and I love how cohesive their color stories tend to be. And yeah, I just really like how this look turned out. But that's gonna be it for this Get Ready With Me video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this kind of chill get ready with me. I know it wasn't anything crazy, but I just really wanted to play with makeup and particularly use this palette. So if you guys did enjoy this palette, really? If you enjoyed the palette, give the video a thumbs up. Yeah, that makes sense. But if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more content from me. I feel like Nomad's going to be featured a lot in my videos coming up because I'm just feeling very inspired by the now 5 palettes that I have from Nomad in my collection. So if you guys want to see me use their Tokyo palette, I will have that video linked in the eye and down below, as well as their Province palette. I'll have it linked in the eye and down below. And if I can find some videos, they're probably not super recent, on the Iceland and America's Parks palette, again, I'll link them all for you, so that if you guys need more Nomad content in your life, I'll have it there for you. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.